It is Friday. RawMikeRichards.com. Broadcasting live from the DKI studios in downtown Toronto. Oh, it's a beauty. You know why? It's Super Bowl weekend. Bets aplenty. It's your pick-a-palooza, and trust me, these ones count. I'm going to brag about how I was 9 for 9 last night, and why shouldn't I? Who else was? No one. And the legendary Phil Gray, the senior lines director, the manager, the czar.
Concierge.
You're which? What's that there?
The assistant concierge.
Well, you don't have to talk that creepy. People are going, what the hell was that? Why is Hugh Dillon on Raw Mike Richards without us? So just make sure you lean in nice and close there, Phil.
I am.
Because you're a low talker.
He's a big-time low talker, right?
It's just
Doesn't sound creepy at all.
no. Well, thanks for coming to the show.
I'm looking behind David Bassel and it says girth.
That's
Just
me.
in pink.
That's
it
me.
says girth in pink.
Well,
We're
we're all about the advertising.
Yeah.
But we've got a ton of prop bets here today. Victor Newman's passionate picks. And one in particular for the Super Bowl that he loves. We see that the number now down to 4.5. We'll talk to Phil about this. Does that change at all? Is he going to be kind? Does it go to, for instance, Patriots -2.5? Probably not. We also will talk about ways that you can get money. We will give you money. Help me help you. This is what we're saying today. So Phil Gray, the lines, is that manager, director? What is the title?
I am the senior lines manager at sportsinteraction.com for the last 15 years. And,
15?
Yeah, we've been online since 1997. We were one of the
That's got to be
leading online players in the gaming industry for trustworthy and honest place to get down your bets on the game, because we watched you've watched a lot of NFL this season, and Thursday nights. If you didn't have a couple of bucks down on the game, did you really want to watch the game?
Hey, 60 to 70% of the games you wouldn't watch if you didn't have some.
Sundays were tough.
Really
Sundays
tough.
were tough too. Yeah.
Here comes Tampa Bay versus okay, well, am I going to really watch this?
So, Mike, you can get your lunch money down with us and watch the Thursday night game and have a little bit of fun.
Now, when we talk Sports Interaction, you said back to 1997. What is the connection with New Jersey? Because people will go to the site and see New Jersey.
It's not Jersey. Actually, we're licensed in a regulatory committee that oversees worldwide gaming in the island of Jersey, and we are regulated there. And
The island of Jersey. Okay,
yeah,
right.
We're regulated in a couple of other places, and we have absolutely nothing to do with United States or anything like that.
Because Americans actually can't play on this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
of their rules.
Not
ours.
I'm not discussing their rules. Their rules are their rules. But in
It's
Canada,
not a Trump thing, Phil. You don't have to.
Actually, you know what?
Get all weird.
It's interesting because we're gonna go to how we set the lines and how we do opinion, and we look back to the 26 presidential election and Donald Trump. Those events are posted far in advance, and we open a book far in advance. And he was about 150 to 1 to win that presidency.
150,
absolutely.
Nice. Yeah.
And we came down to the last couple of weeks, and I usually don't stake my opinion on events, but I did on that one, and I pushed Hillary out.
You did. Okay. Well,
think about that. I pushed Hillary out, and we came to a pick. I had her at pick.
Really?
Right?
She did pick him.
Yeah, and everybody else had Trump at 3 to 1, and I had some pushback from the higher ups, And look what happened. I took a ton of Hillary money, and we balanced the book, and we didn't lose a huge amount, and everybody else did because that week that the election happened.
That was the FBI week,
yeah,
right?
Donald Trump was 3-1. You could get him at 3-1. I had him at pick.
See, that's
right?
So you're a very fair man.
Remember, David, on Inside the Lines, I called it, right?
Mm.
I absolutely called it, and so it's a bookie's life, Mike.
Well, let's
what
talk.
you do, right?
Let's talk about that. So, Davey, last night, as you know, I usually go through a lot of pain with college basketball. I take way too many games, and there's always one guy.
Junior hoops, Mike. Junior hoops.
One team, and it's like, you couldn't make a free throw? Did you know how the game works? Last night, that did not happen. So, as I will briefly show you last night, went 9 for 9, which is a nice little takeaway. 9 for 9, and finally did not get caught up on that. But college basketball probably is my strongest suit. And so today, when Victor Newman comes in, the only problem is the lines for the 9,000 basketball games that you're going to see on Saturday. You know, like the NHL, you've got to wait till that day. So people are like, well, how come, when you make these picks on Saturday, we can't see them? We'll have to figure out a way. But generally, when Victor Newman comes in, he's going to make his picks based on what he sees on a Friday. So that means it's what I call the egghead schedule on Friday basketball games. So, of course, you have Harvard and Yale, Columbia, and Cornell. And try betting on those things. Like it's like, excuse me, may I shoot? Of course. I digress.
We call those the extra and added games, and you can see that on DonBest.com, which is a great friend of ours.
Is Don Best? Yeah, Don Best is a friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Industry leader. You can compare it to that's our ticker from.
Oh, okay.
For
Gotcha.
what we do,
Yep.
for what we do, we trade commodities, and the commodities that we trade are sporting events. And Don Best is like our ticker, and it goes across. But that's interesting that you're saying that college basketball is your forte.
Oh, totally.
You're wearing a Jeff Garcia jersey. Okay.
Look, if you want to start getting into confusing stuff, don't let me start on you. Because I got to tell you, I don't know what the hell's going on over there. I really don't. But we keep saying time and time again on how you are going to get money by simply going to Sports Interaction and signing up. And Dave, it's what, up to $200?
Yep, $200 first deposit.
Crazy,
And this is the
Crazy,
weekend
right?
to do it, right? Not only
Absolutely.
it is called the Super Bowl for a reason, but you go on the actual site itself, and there's probably 5,000 different things you could bet on with this one game in particular.
We will have over 400.
I said
over
5,000.
5,000.
Thank you.
Yeah, but David is exaggerating a little bit. We'll have well over 400 props, just single game props on the Super Bowl, and absolutely we have the best customer service center in the industry, and you can come on us, and it's right there.
Okay, so the question is, how do you get this money from Sports Interaction? Well, we're going to show you how. Here's Russell Graham. Russell Graham doesn't have a girlfriend.
But he can have a sportsinteraction.com account.
Right you are, Dave. Here's Russell going to the site. It's so simple, even Russell can do it. And he's mentally challenged.
But he will need some help.
Look at him filling it out. It's that easy and fun to do. But Russell's thinking to himself, how do I get that money? How do I get the up to $200? Here's how. You simply go to the drop-down menu. Look at Russell and the fun he's having. So what if his mother's knocking outside his door? This time it's not about magazines. It's this. He clicks on Raw Mike Richards, and any wager up to $200, Sports Interaction will match it. It's that simple. That money is yours from Sports Interaction and RawMikeRichards.com.
It really is that easy.
Yeah, it is that
like
easy.
that. That was literally shot for a grand total of 35 seconds before the show went on air as just a little consult to show people how easy it is. And the key there, that drop down menu, you have to tell the website where you found this website.
Yeah, what you were referring to.
And that's where you go. You put your $200 down. They match it up to $200. So if you don't have 200, you put 100. They'll match it 100. Your best value is $200. And trust me, you want to take advantage of this because as a first-time depositor, that's where you get it. It's not going to happen when you deposit again in 2 months. So take advantage while you can right now. Up to $200 on the site. It takes 32 seconds to do. And the lines as far as numbers and what you can bet on doesn't even compare to anything else out there. And yes, I'm talking to you pro line because you only have single game props as far as totals and the actual wager on the game itself. This is at a different level of football intellect. So if you're into that like we are, that's where you go.
We also have a customer service interaction that is, bar none, one of the best in the industry. So if you have any problems logging in online or calling in, there's absolutely no downtime there. Someone will help you within 30 to 60 seconds. You can get anything down, anything in you want at Sports Interaction. You can do that for a long time.
It's funny you say that, Mike, and he's not joking about that. When we were actually shooting the video, the live chat option came up and said, "Good morning. Can we help you with
our interface? Is
very
it's
very fast,
fantastic, and mobile as well. I mean, our interface is state of the art for sure.
For instance, if you go to the site and you don't have 200 bills, you could put down, for instance, $20. In that case, they will also match that with $20, giving you a total of $40. Let's say you have $70. Then you would put down $70, perhaps $80 if you found it, maybe in your mom's purse or where your grandmother hides her checks. Then they will give you $80, matching it for a total of $160, give or take. If you had 100, sorry.
no, go on.
I keep going, Mike.
That's how it is, and that's why I think this morning, as you can see on the Twitter account, we're having a lot of follows today. Phil Gray in studio actually telling us how this thing works, and I got to tell you some of the prop bets, including I think really
I like will Pink take a knee during the anthem. I think we have that minus 105.
That's right. And that's a hard no.
Man.
She is not taking a knee.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I love Pink. David, I love Pink.
And the other thing, too, is the NSYNC prop that you have on there.
Steve Rapp. That came from old Steve Rapp.
That came from old
Steven Rapp.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that huge NSYNC fan.
What time is dinner?
Steven, not now. Did you sign the papers?
So TMZ has reported all members of NSYNC have been seen in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area.
We had to take down.
Saying.
We had to take down the prop for first song. Justin Timberlake. I love Justin Timberlake. He's a golfer. You know,
good golfer
he's
too.
A good golfer, and he's an attractive guy, isn't he, Mike?
What are you talking? What are you looking at me for?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But if I saw Justin Timberlake, I would say, "Do you have $20, and would you like to make it 40?"
The word was that "Filthy" was going to be the first song, so we've taken that down. There was a lot of sharp action. I saw.
You mean
our friend Todd Furman from.
Todd Furman, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the board. He tweeted that out, so we took that down.
You had to take it down because it got leaked out.
That's right,
my
that's
God.
Right, that's right.
Well, it made a lot of sense.
It happens every year.
Considering that's his song right now being played on the airwaves, right? So.
That's tough. But the player props, I think that there is a ton of value when you take a look at player props.
How's that working out for you, Mike? Value.
Well,
you padding me?
Okay, so here's why I look at it this way. You're trying to figure out, obviously, the point spread. That is the thing that people are going to bet on, correct? By percentages?
Actually,
yeah, go ahead and lean in.
You know what? What's going to be the big indicator this weekend is actually the money line, because
the money line.
Yeah, but it's straight out to win, Mike. It's not the spread. It's straight out to win, because everybody thinks the Eagles are going to win. They're paying $1.50 at our place. They're paying almost a little bit more. I shouldn't say that. Some other places, so that that's the sexy bet, right?
The money line. Right. See, I like
the Eagles are going to win, Mike.
See, I like.
I'm going to get a couple of bills down on that.
Okay, but then you got to wait for the whole game. I'll tell you what. Right. Here's where I see value.
Okay.
So if you go to the section that's called Super Bowl player props.
Okay.
If you start looking at things like rushing, receiving, if you're following the season, you follow the games, you understand what the matchup is, you start doing what I like to call the sports math, you can kind of figure out offensively maybe what some of these teams need to do to be successful. Now, if you're going to an individual player, how important is he to the scheme of what they do in that scenario? For instance, is it a game where Tom Brady, you think, is going to go to what his perceived number one is? Is he going to go in the middle ground, right? Does he go Amendola? Does he become that target? What is Philadelphia going to do to the Patriots? And what is the Patriots' response in the Bill Belichick mode of offense? If you start looking at it that way, to me it starts to become clearer on who could have the big day, whether it's the rushing part of it, Dave, whether it's the receiving part of it. And there is some tremendous value, I think, in understanding how the game will play out to the wager that you want to make. So whether it is receiving, so to have 100-plus receiving yards, Dave, you've got Gronk at a 3, you've got Brandon Cooks at a 3.25, Jeffrey at a 4.50, Amendola is a 6. So who is going to have 100-plus receiving yards in a scenario
Nobody.
like that?
Nobody.
That's why some of these numbers I think are so big. Then it gets down to receptions. Now you can start to figure out who's going to have that kind of day. So is Gronk getting 6 receptions that day? If he gets 6 passes, then Philadelphia is in big trouble. If he goes over 5, 6 passes to Gronk says to me that probably Patriots going to win that game. If they can get the ball to him 6 times, they have a very good chance. So, again, it comes down to understanding what you think is going to happen in that game and who is going to be kind of the hero. They obviously right now, at least Phil, looking at Danny Amendola, over 5 catches, so 4.5 is the number.
Yep.
And look, if I'm making a bet on these, I want to see the halves. I don't want the whole number because that's tougher to me. But does Amendola have 5 catches in the game? If he does, it pays a 177.
Well, we always try to get to a half number so that there isn't a push and you don't have a voided bet. But you know what? I mean, these are all opinion bets, Mike. And
I think you should move Gronk to 4.5.
Right now?
Yeah. And then I'll
3.5 seems like a very fair number.
I'm
to
not
me.
LinkedIn, but you know what? I mean, a lot of these numbers, you know, these are agreed upon numbers, and I go back to the ticker. It's the TSX, and you know, it's the Dow, and it's what we do for sports betting, and the numbers are there, and you can have at it. We look at you know, there's a lot of simulations that go into a lot of these numbers, and that's how we post them. So. You know, you can sit there and say, well, you know, he's gonna go over 4.5 catches. Absolutely, he's gonna have to. And you know, that's what I'll lay it on the line. I say that's what sports books kind of like is when you say, well, I have an opinion. You know,
well, it's the only
he's gonna do this. The Leafs are gonna win the cup this year.
It's the only. It's
you know that's what we mean when we're gonna lay the Leafs at right now 12-1 to win the cup. Go ahead, have at it, right?
Well, you said something earlier that I thought was interesting and probably very true, and it's sort of like if you look at those numbers. So people say, well, if you think it's -2.5, do you think it's going to be, this kind of game? And it's like it's almost like when you play the stock market. Do I think that team is that line is true at -2.5? Do I believe it's true? And I think instead of an indicator of score, because I think some people still play that way. They think, oh, they're saying the score is probably going to win by 3. It's not what they're saying. It's not what they're saying. So it's a little tougher to do it, I think, if you haven't been around it a whole bunch. But that's why you listen to Inside the Lines. It's why you watch shows like this. It's why you get the opinion on whether you think there is value in the line that has been set by the lines manager.
You can rarely, as a bookmaker, take opinion into the equation. You look at the market. Where's the money going? I mean, so if the liquidity is on one side, why would I go to the other side? I mean, why would I do that? So if somebody wants to bet Tom Brady, to have another kid with Giselle at 4-1, right? And the other,
just do it.
No,
I'll take that.
The other books are at 20-1, but I'm hanging 4-1. They're still betting it. So why would I have 20-1, right? As a responsible bookmaker. My liquidity is there, my liability is there. I'll hang 4-1. So that's how we do it. And it's going to be an interesting weekend. I think the line is going to come back to New England by kickoff. The 4.5 is not going to sit there.
So how long? What do you think it's going to be? 5.5, 6?
We'll see. I mean, typically Super Bowl weekend we see 75% of our turnover on the entire game will come within 24 hours before kickoff, and probably 50% in the last 6 hours. So
you really have to pay attention on the weekend as a bookmaker to
but that number is kind of in the dead zone right now, so it's really not going to matter. But we took some very early bets on Philadelphia 6.5, and that's what moved it down. But I predicted that for sure. I mean, I thought it was going to open there, and I'm quite astonished actually that we're seeing that much public, and it is public money on Philadelphia. That's driving the number down. So for once, for once in the history of the NFL, we can say the sharp money is on New England. Can you believe that, David?
Yeah,
the sharp money is on New England.
New England never happens in the last 10 years.
Right. The money line. I mean, I'm arguing that money line with my guys right now. I mean, we're sitting at plus 150, minus 180 on New England. We're taking some New England money, but it's balanced. There's minus 200 out there. I'm nervous about that New England money line money. It's going to be interesting.
Is that the most bet on part of the actual Super Bowl, the actual line of the game, or is there something else that gets bet? And I'm talking about amount of money put into the system.
Spread first.
Spread first.
Yeah. Money line second.
Really.
Total third. And as I was saying, saying to the producer of Inside the Lines, who likes to do his parlays. Our number one killer in the NFL is the fave and the over, right? So you're going to take New England this weekend to cover, and you're going to take the over, and that's what kills us. We live on our parlays. That's how we do.
The total right now is 48.5.
48.5. And you know what, Mike? I might move that 49 when I get back to the hotel.
I think there's.
I think that's going over.
I do too.
David?
Yeah.
I do too, because
there's going to be some points.
I think New England's going to blow them out. I don't have an opinion because I just moved the lines.
But you just said you're going to blow them out.
I think New England's going to blow them out.
I think you're two-timing us. Right? I think is there double dipping? I don't know what you call that, but there's something going on over there.
Where's Sasha? Sasha.
Where is Sasha? Let's bet on that. We should have bet on that.
What you know what? She's gray with EY, right? She's second.
I don't want to hear your crap. I don't want to hear your little story, your little family stories. I know what goes on. I'd be changing my name too, just to be honest. So as we mentioned beforehand, it's sitting at 4.5. New England on the money line is a 156. It's like if you're making a wager to win money, then I'm looking at the money line and I'm taking Philadelphia. Just because that's where the value is. It's 2.5 times your money.
Yeah,
I mean, if I'm going to make that bet. Now, that's not the bet I'm making, but I also think there's value in that over currently at a 48.5, because do I think that game is going to be in the mid to low 20s? I think at least it is. Mm-hmm. And if I think if Philadelphia's got a chance, they got to score more points than that. So if it's going to be a tighter game, I think the over. And once again, the first half money line. Now, what about the half lines?
Well, that's it. In the first half, in the Super Bowl traditionally goes under. So that's, you can see that in the first quarter as well. And as well, I didn't know this. The team that wears white won 10 of the last 14 Super Bowls.
See, that's the stuff that I don't know.
Who's wearing white this Sunday?
I don't know.
It's the Eagles are wearing white, aren't they?
They've won 10 of the last 14 Super Bowls.
Because I think
jump on that
the
150, Mike.
The Patriots are wearing blue, right? Are you sure? Are they wearing white?
Well, see, because here's the weird thing.
10 of the last 14.
And you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day. So now, clearly, I don't know what's happening now. The team total, that again, there you go back to the opinion. You've got New England at 26.5. So that's the total for the team total.
New England is wearing white.
Okay.
New England's wearing white.
So Philadelphia at 22. That's a tough number.
It's done.
Do you think that New England scores more than 26 or under than 26, and the number for Philadelphia is 22? Those are interesting. There is value to doing this. You're not going to see the whole. And look, I started on radio all those years ago, and of course we were always sponsored by Proline, whether it was in Alberta or whether it was here in Ontario. But when those lines are set, you will see literally zero value in what they're going to give you. It is so hard to have any kind of consistency because the house always wants to win, but it is so stacked when you're playing Proline. if I had to match numbers per numbers, and by the way, these are the ones that change. These are the ones that flow. It's at home. You don't have to go to Max or 7-Eleven or whatever the local store is. You're sitting at home trying to see if there's value in the lines as they move up or down. In Proline, you're screwed. That's it.
Well, they're a fine establishment. We just offer a different product.
A better product.
That's all.
A much better product. A product where you can win.
An adjustable product with a better value system. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's it, though. Nothing more than that, eh?
So here's some shocking news. Gronk has been cleared to play from the protocol. Oh, my. Way to go, New England. Way to...
Watch that line go to 6 now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
It'll be 6 at kickoff.
So what is the busiest time for you as a lines maker? What's the busiest time in any given sport? But let's say it's the Super Bowl because there's a hell of a lot of action on it. When do you really sort of get bombarded with what you need to do? When's the busiest time?
Well, we do September to April. I mean, that's from the beginning of preseason right through March Madness. And we have, Wednesday and Thursday nights with college basketball. You love the junior hoops, Mike.
Yes, I do.
I know you love junior hoops. And we have the line moves there on Wednesday and Thursday nights are just crazy. I mean, the totals go across the board. We see red on the Don Best screen. It's crazy. And that's a time for you to come and jump in on some value. And there's some very good pick makers out there that I won't name. But, Sunday, Super Bowl, for sure, 75% of our turnover and our take, as we call it, will come between 12 noon and kickoff. For sure.
So what would make so people watching today, they're thinking, okay, what makes a good lines maker? What does it take? Because as you said, there are certain things I think that you have to keep out of your head in order to have fair lines.
Yeah. No, I mean I'm one to I kind of go against the grain a little bit. I don't inject a lot of opinion into my lines. I look at the market. Where's the market going? What are people betting? So if somebody wants to take the Las Vegas Golden Knights at 200-1 at the beginning of the season for the Stanley Cup outright, we looked at that, right? Remember, Deborah, we talked about that, and it was a massive amount of money. Was it public money or was it people that knew a little bit? So we automatically cut that in half. And look at them now. Where are they? 7-1, 6-1 to win the Stanley Cup.
Because if someone told me at the beginning of the year that an expansion team was coming, at the NHL, you've got to put a line out there, and I go, what do you think their chances were or would be to win like a Stanley Cup? I'm going, I don't know, 1,000-1.
Yeah, but you know what?
I'd pick a really big number.
Okay, but that's as a responsible bookmaker, when you see that kind of money come in, you have to move. You can't sit and take an opinion. I mean, some books do, and some bookmakers do. We don't, as a responsible establishment for taking bets. We don't. If somebody wants to bet, the Las Vegas Knights to win the Golden to win the Stanley Cup at 200-1, we're going to move it. If the money goes there, you have to move. You can't stick on a number and take an opinion and say, well, they're wrong. Because you know what? Sometimes the public is right. Right? And we saw that last year in the NFL, and we got absolutely killed in the NFL last year when the public bet numbers that were out there, especially on Green Bay and a couple other teams. We got absolutely killed. We had the worst NFL season.
So public teams can be a killer?
Absolutely. You have to move.
And it's interesting that you talk that way because, I think it's been, when I look at the NFL, it is not easy to win in it. Like if I'm looking at all the sports that I think are my odds of victory, if I start at the top for me, so I think that my understanding of college basketball, and it still kind of plays out that way, would be here. I look at trying to play the NHL on a nightly basis. That's not easy. I don't find that to be easy.
Absolutely.
Even when you take a look at total. So last night for the Leafs and Rangers, I believe the total was 6.5. The trend has been to go under simply because New York sometimes has been a little challenged. The Leafs started the season going over every single game and then got into a route where they went under. But to think it would be for Cobb, it sort of talks, Dave, yesterday we talked about the Rangers and just why you would have faith in them to do anything.
You don't.
And last night I thought that they proved it. Yeah. I mean, to me, I took a look at that.
It's funny from a bookmaker's perspective and looking at a lot of the books. When are we going to see a 7 in the NHL? It's coming.
A 7.
It's coming. It's never
been
there.
Too,
it's coming because you're seeing 6.5 juice now at like what minus 135, minus 140.
So if you ever run
you're
into
almost
like
going to see a 7.
like a Tampa Toronto matchup, maybe, or it's like a too high score,
It's
a
coming.
Winnipeg Tampa, something, Vegas, and almost anybody else because they score. The pinata bets, you know I love them.
You love them.
I love the pinata. You swing a horse in front of me, I'm gonna hit it. So I got a
What is
couple
it?
of them here. That's a horse, right? Pinata.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
talking about a real horse.
All right.
So we got I got 2 of them down here.
Yeah.
So winning margin at 50-1. I got the Eagles to win by 20 points. Well, we know that's not going to happen, but I got a good one here. Patriots to win by 6
Whoa.
at 50-1.
Jesus.
That's not bad. You're sweating that one, aren't you?
Where are you taking me tomorrow night? Huh?
and so first touchdown scored. I got no touchdown scored at 25. That's not going to happen. Tom Brady to score the first touchdown of the game. Nelson Aguilar to score the first touchdown for the Eagles.
And you hit on your Tiger pinata.
And I hit my Tiger at 70-1 this last weekend, finished 23rd. So what's the next pinata bet? Tell me.
Yeah.
Mikey's buying lunch.
Who's Dave's buying lunch? Yeah, you might be waiting for that.
He knows better.
You
than
might,
that. He
he's
knows better.
He's
Dave-
the
Dave-
Tiger Woods of Bills. Is he?
Dave will be at
We're
lunch.
we're really excited about our pinata development. And,
What's the next one coming up? Tell me.
We're gonna have it. We have all those ones for the Super Bowl. We're gonna have them probably each week for the PGA.
What about what color hoodie
NASCAR,
Bill Belichick's going to wear?
stuff. Yeah, well, you can get that right in our.
Is it? Do you have that bet?
yeah,
What color?
It might be right there in the player.
Okay,
in,
I
in the,
didn't
in the
know
Super
that.
Bowl
I didn't
bets.
see that because I
Right
wanted to
next,
bet on that.
next to Gatorade and next
Okay.
to some of the pink props.
Okay.
Mike,
okay.
I know you like. I know you love pink.
Just so you know, there are sometimes if you want to play the pinata game, I don't think you know what a pinata is, because Tiger Woods should not be falling out of a pinata. Maybe girls' phone numbers, but not Tiger Woods, because that's how pinata is played. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I'm looking at Phil Gray. I think he's a bad man.
so, right?
That's what he said yesterday.
Always nice to have Austin
I
Matthews
hate this
uncle
guy.
in studio with
I hate
us.
this guy.
The pinata. So as we get closer to game time, you're saying you believe that this number could possibly move.
I think we'll see some late. It's funny. It's a weird line. I'm quite surprised. There's been so much public Philadelphia money, and it is public. It's not calculated bettors. I would think that we will see towards gate time some heavy Philadelphia money that's going to move it north of 4.5. I would. It's balanced right now, but we're as I say, we like to balance the money line against the spread. So there's so much money right now on Philadelphia and the money line. I'll wait to move for sure. You know, if my spread is balanced and my money line is all Philadelphia, I'll keep the industry standard on the spread.
Now you're also saying too that you believe that the total could possibly change, and is that based on what you'll see the public putting the money on?
I think it's going to go over. I mean, they're indoors, and but
Does 48.5 change? Possibly.
No,
No.
you won't see it across the board at the books, but I mean they don't. We're a little different that we move on our action, and a lot of the other books that you're going to see on the Don Best screen and some of the short books, they don't move on their action because they're they take an opinion, and they're also laying off some other sites, and we don't do that. We are a strictly recreational book, and that's what we would do.
Now, before we get to, because I know Victor's going to come in here very shortly. Now,
Is Nikki here?
Unless you want to be Nikki, and I don't want to get into that.
Right.
If
Pretty good.
If no, Dave, no, that would not be good. So the Bastel foreplay you can't do today because you're basically going to do props. Is that what I
Yeah,
understand?
I'm just going to do props that I am. That's and props on the site. You could bet single props per bet. You can't double them up or like put four
Right.
props on a same sheet or
Right.
something like that. That's
So
all.
you know what we should do? So we'll play a little music here. We'll do a little drama.
Okay.
Do you think that you could give the people?
Yes.
The people.
Yes.
So Shatner comes in every once in a while. I don't know why.
Dave, we need your love.
On the bridge.
You're at least one of your favorite props, just one, that if you're looking at, and people who are watching here today around the world, if there was one prop bet that you sort of like, maybe a little better than the others, could you give us that Dave Bastel secret?
Dave Bastel's secret. I'll give you a couple of them, and I'm
Okay.
zeroing in on this. And I hate the fact that I'm doing it right in front of the guy that's going to change the numbers on me right away. So, but here it goes. The key to the Patriots' offense will be how much Dion Lewis touches the ball. He will touch the ball the most on the field out of every New England Patriot. So that means receptions out of the backfield on the little slide screens, any kind of little small slants, dump offs, checkbacks, everything. He will rush the ball as well. So look under Dion Lewis rush attempts at over 3.5, and also keep on going for Dion Lewis when it comes to rush attempts at, it says, total rush attempts by Dion Lewis is 13.5. That's a lot for one guy to rush, considering that he does have James White and Rex Burkhead in the backfield. So I'd be tempted to go under on rush attempts, but look under pass completions for Dion Lewis on that. Also, don't be surprised if we see a pretty good dosage of James White and Rex Burkhead. Like I mentioned, they will kind of be that outlet that Tom Brady needs, especially in that first half. That I expect this team to actually move the ball down the field. I don't know how many points they're going to put on the board, but he will complete. Tom Brady will complete over 25 passes in this game, minimum. That's how much. And a lot of it isn't going to be 50-yard bombs to Cooks or anything like that. It will be the dumps. So look out for Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis is my guy on the Patriots that is going to rock a lot of props. So watch out for that guy.
There it is. There's Bastel's best.
I'm loving our prop. Will there be a scoring drive that takes less time than the national anthem?
Yeah, see, I think
And
that's
we have that at minus 105.
That's a great, yeah, we were talking about
I
that
am
yesterday.
all over that.
I do like that. Well, as I think the limousine is
Pulling up.
it's pulling up there. So
Where are we going?
Yeah.
So well, it's going to be.
Oh,
this
he's
is
coming in.
you now. This is all.
Yeah.
This is going to be all you. Because
Hey, we welcome on a Friday, on a Super Bowl
oh.
Friday. Get ready. It's Victor Newman and his passionate picks. Good morning, Victor. I'd like you to meet our friend Phil Gray.
I don't know why the hell you'd be friends with a man like that. Look at this guy. I saw him sitting up there. I thought, what the hell is Hugh Dillon from the Headstones doing talking about sports? And then I realized it's that damn Phil Gray. By the way, Phil, say hi to your sister for me, Sasha Gray. She's very flexible, but so am I. As you can tell by the muscular thighs. Would you like to feel them? It's okay. It's the first time you've shut up in about the last hour, so I'm going to move on right now. Let's take a look at college basketball. As you saw my picks last night, I was a damn 9 for 9. You're going to say it's perfect because Victor Newman is perfect. Just ask Russell's mom. Let's start tonight with Rhode Island, minus 2.5. That is a gimme. UConn is terrible this year. That's an easy one. Also Cornell in the Egghead League. I don't like Cornell, but they're going to beat Dartmouth. At a 183, that is excellent money. Speaking of eggheads, you've got Harvard. They're going to play Columbia. Minus 1.5, that's a damn gift. I'm thinking to myself, who the hell made these lines? Did they watch the games? Because this is Christmas coming early for Victor Newman. Let's go to the Premiership, play a little soccer. As you know, David, I was quite the soccer player when I was younger.
Oh, you were. Those Adidas shorts were awesome.
I can do what they call kip-ups in the nude. Do you know that, Phil? Are you impressed by that? By the way, my eyes are up here. Manchester City and under. There's no question they're going to beat Burnley, but on the road it's probably 2 or 3-0. At 3.5, I'm going to take the under. Also, Leicester City at home to Swansea. Swansea. Has nothing to do with Swans, so don't start writing letters to me. Leicester will win at a 174. Manchester United, I'm going to take the win, but under 3.5. That's what I'm doing right there against that other team, Huddersfield. And finally, I am going to take a Super Bowl pick. And I agree with David Bastel, as I usually do. I like Lewis to catch over 4.5. It's a 191, and that means money. And I'll tell you something right now. That's what Victor Newman has. You got that? Because I'm Victor Newman. What do you think about that, Phil Gray? Thank you for making me a richer person.
you have any questions for Victor?
Yeah,
All bets have action. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, shut the hell up and just do your damn job.
Especially in the Premiership, you know.
Maybe we'll go by the home and see Stephen Rappler later. All right, we'll get him his favorite butterscotch pudding.
We got a radio host in downtown Toronto betting English Premiership. Were you a goalie, Mike, or were you?
Oh, you're talking to Mike now. Okay, yeah. Thanks, Victor. Thanks for coming in. This old theater of mine. I like playing the Premiership. Yeah, I like playing the Premiership.
Absolutely.
But
there's great value there. We have tons of off bets on all soccer across the world. Asian handicaps, halftime, full time, halves. Total corners made and that. So I mean, we're one of the leading brands out there for the value and the absolute extension of everything that you can bet on soccer worldwide. We cover Division 3 Moldavian under 19 women's. We have everything. We literally do.
And as you said, there's lots of options there too.
Absolutely,
There's one I think that's unique to yours, which is will a certain team score in both halves?
Yes.
Which there's a if you're like, okay, is it going to be like, if it's going to be a blowout, or a team that you think is going to be dominant,
hugely
do they
popular.
at least score?
Hugely popular.
That's a great one.
Hugely popular. Halftime, full time as well, with all
halftime, full time for sure.
All the major leagues in soccer. That's a huge bet with us, and you can't get that everywhere else. I mean,
no, you can't. But it's true.
You can get it with us.
Yeah. So once again, all weekend long, we're going to show you exactly how to get that money from Sports Interaction. Very, very fair. And as you're going to find, I think it's also, and I said this to Stephen as well, the site is very user friendly.
Absolutely.
There are some out there you're like,
very proud of that.
How the hell do you find this? There's also in play. And some people, that's a question. They go, do you have in play? In play is, look, during the Super Bowl, I couldn't imagine, depending on what happens, how busy in play will be.
Our live betting interface is bar none one of the best in the industry, and as well the in play stuff as well, that you can get down on stuff, just on a lot of the prop bets as well. We've worked very hard on that, and you can log on and you'll see. I mean, once you've signed up and got your bonus deposit, you're going to see if you want to play the Super Bowl in game, which is look at last year, right? I mean,
last year we had a huge value.
What was it? You could have gotten New England at probably like
plus 10. Would it be more than that?
Maybe a little less. Maybe a little less. Probably you could have.
But over a touchdown.
Yeah. But no, you could have got them on the money line. In the fourth quarter, at what, 7-8 to 1.
Oh yeah, see, yeah. I mean, and look, that's the bet you make.
Right.
That's the bet you make.
Right. And they, I mean, you throw $10 down on that, and you're buying lunch. Right?
Yeah. Well, I probably will be.
I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Before
Yes.
we go. This
Yes.
is
Dave.
off topic.
All right.
So I'm just going to adjust the camera here. NHL instant replay sucks. Absolutely sucks. If you watched that Vegas Winnipeg Jets game last night, if you missed it, let me just throw down a scenario for you, and just say this hypothetically happened, because it actually did happen. A guy breaks his stick over Connor Hellerbuck's mask, and the puck trickles to the side of him. It's tipped in for the Vegas goal. It gets reviewed. The referees review this, plus the NHL offices review this as well. A stick breaks over the guy's mask, and it counts as a goal. I don't know what replay is all about if that is going to be allowed in the NHL that I watch. There's been so many dreadful calls in this league this year, especially in the last month, but this may take the cake. Watch it again. It's the second Vegas goal. The stick breaks over the mask of the goaltender in front of the net, and the puck goes in, and that's a goal. That's not the NHL that I like. Okay, back to you.
Where I come from, that's good hockey, Dave. Right, Mike?
This has been What Dave Says. It's true. You know what? And I saw our good friend Ted from Blade Tape also said, "What is going on? What is going on with the league?" I mean, it's true. I mean, that's.
Well, I'm not sure it's any different from the last 30 or 40 years. I mean, look what Scott Stevens did to Eric Lindros, and I mean, he ended a Hall of Fame career. So, and he got no punishment for that. I mean,
Yeah,
Phil, the show's only on for so long.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I don't even
I have
know.
a few opinions.
I don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's what we learned. No opinions here. But if you have an inkling, because it's hard doing what you do and then saying, well, I think this is going to happen, because you got to keep it out of making the line. You like the Eagles or do you like the Patriots?
Patriots in a blowout.
In a blowout.
I talked to one of my guys in Vegas who does some interesting stuff with algorithms and some of the online stuff that's coming, and his model says this will be a little bit different from some of the other Patriot Super Bowl wins where they were shorter margins. He predicts a Patriot blowout.
Davey, what's your feeling on the game?
I have no opinion. I just moved the lines. Mike?
Patriots will win by around a touchdown. I don't see them blowing out
2
anybody.
scores.
They haven't done it in a while. They if you look at all their Super Bowl wins, the Patriots don't beat teams up like they do in the regular season. They're not playing the Dolphins. They're not playing the Jets. They're not playing the Bills. They're playing an Eagles team with a pretty good defense, a defense that's much better than the Patriots' defense. It will be closer than we think. And I almost look at it, say the Patriots are up by 14 or something in the fourth quarter, and the Eagles score a touchdown with 2 minutes left in the game, and they lose by 7, and everybody goes, oh, it's such a close game. It was 7 points. But really, when you watch the game, it really wasn't that close. That's how I kind of market this game, and that's how I see it on Sunday.
I'll be doing one thing and one thing only on Sunday.
What's
I'll
that,
be
Mike?
Sitting back, number one of these. Glug, 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 glug. Throw it to Lewis. Lewis is open. Dump it off to Lewis. Come on, Dion. It's Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis is a friend of mine. That's what we're doing, folks.
Dion is a friend.
What? He's open. There's Lewis. He's catching another pass.
Become best friends. Yep.
Oh, he's open again. For some reason, Brady's throwing it to him.
Karate in the garage.
Here's the national anthem, and he's throwing it to Lewis.
It's time.
We would like to thank all of those who joined us today. That'd be Phil Gray, Senior Lines Manager. Is that what it is?
It is.
Something like that.
So, did you go to university for this or something? Or
Went to the School of Hard Knocks, Mike. You know.
yeah, we could hardly tell. Get ready for Sunday, folks. Going to be a good one, I think.
It is, absolutely. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. I told actually the host of Inside the Lines, who's a great friend of ours, George Russick, that if it was
Speak for yourself.
if it was going to be Jacksonville and Philadelphia, I wasn't coming. So,
Okay, well,
Right.
you heard, there's the last word from Phil Gray. Have yourself a great Sunday. Thanks for joining us. Remember, go to Sports Interaction and get your money.